Pittsburgh Steelers will visit the Chicago Bears, who look to notch their first victory of the season in front of their home crowd on Sunday, September 24th in Week 3 NFL action. The Bears had a solid outing at home against the Falcons in Week 1, but they were slapped around by the Bucaneers in Tampa Bay in Week 2. Their offense is terrible, but they still have a respectable defense. Meanwhile, the Steelers made their fans feel better about their close game versus Cleveland in Week 1 by dismantling a good Vikings team in a 26-9 routing in Week 2. Ben Roethlisberger completed 23 of 35 passes for 243 yards and a pair of touchdowns, but he didn't appear to be on the same page as Antonio Brown, who caught just 5 of 11 passes. He threw to 6 different receivers, and Le'Veon Bell was held to 87 yards and no scores on 27 attempts, although he caught 4 of 4 passes for an underwhelming 4 yards. The Pittsburgh defense pretty much shut down Case Keenum, who connected 20 times on 37 attempts for 167 yards. The Vikings' running game never really got off the ground either, and Minnesota was held to just 14 first downs. By all appearances, the Steelers are a very well-rounded team, although Le'Veon Bell and the running game have not played anywhere near their potential, averaging just 2.8 yards per carry so far. It's just a matter of time before that average increases, but they might have a tough time against a good Chicago run defense that's yielded just 3.2 yards per carry so far this season. Le'Veon Bell's longest carry was for just 11 yards in Week 2. We can expect Roethlisberger to throw around 25 passes against the Bears, and it's early in the season, but Chicago is allowing the 4th highest passing yards per attempt at 8.6. Pittsburgh has allowed just 3 sacks and 5 quarterback hits so far. He should have plenty of time to make his throws, so look for Big Ben and Antonio Brown to get back on the same page this week. The Steelers' defensive line has already racked up 9 sacks, and although Chicago has only given up 5 sacks, they've allowed the second most quarterback hits with 18. Chicago's offensive line will need to step it up in this game. Last week, the Chicago Bears were forced to abandon their running game, as Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard combined for just 16 carries and a pathetic 20 yards. Mike Glennon managed to connect on 31 of 45 passes for 301 yards and a touchdown, but he also tossed 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown return, and turned 1 over on a fumble. His top receiver was Kendall Wright, who reeled in 7 of 10 targets for 69 yards. Running back Tariq Cohen caught 8 of his 9 targets for 55 yards and outshone Jordan Howard for the second week in a row, despite coughing up a fumble. The Bears defense did a decent job against the Bucs passing game, but got burned by Mike Evans to the tune of 93 yards and a touchdown. Tampa was able to rack up 117 yards on 34 carries, but Chicago allowed nothing longer than a 14-yard gain. While there is still a lot of questions around the quarterback position, the bigger story is Tariq Cohen's great start to the season, threatening Jordan Howard's current role as the number 1 running back. Howard may have carried 2 more times than Cohen, but he was only thrown to once, while Cohen hauled in 8 or 9 targets, making the rookie one of Chicago's most valuable players so far. Mike Glennon has done an admirable job of spreading the ball around, but he just can't seem to strike a big connection, and it definitely won't get any easier against the Steelers. So expect Glennon to spread the ball around once more, but also expect his usual turnovers. The Bears' defense will be relied on to keep them in this game, but even a stellar defensive performance probably won't be enough to stop the Steelers from winning this one. They should be able to keep Pittsburgh from running wild, but it will be a challenge to stop the Pittsburgh passing game. So our pick and prediction is to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers at -7 and also play this game under 45 points. For our pick and prediction on this game and every other game this week, and a wealth of free stats and information, check out bangthebook.com.